Okay, so I'll do a quick little countdown and then we'll go right into it. Let's see here, let's clear that off. Here we go. Okay. We're counting down. 3, 2. Joining me now to talk more about some pre-file bills that could make their way to the floor or have started with discussion in the House of Representatives is House Majority Leader Bam Carney. We appreciate you joining us here on In Focus, Kentucky. We're on the road in the state capitol.
Well, first, welcome to the Capitol, and thanks for the opportunity to be on the show.
Hey, you bet. And obviously, a lot of discussion has been centered around school safety. That's been a priority for you personally, but it's been discussion has been had here at the Capitol. So talk about, number one, why this school safety issue is important to address in the state of Kentucky.
Well, our most precious resource in the state are our children. And I want to thank President Stivers and Speaker Osborne for putting the work group together. And we've done a lot of work over the last year on that issue, and we want to do all we can to make sure that our children, our staff, our students, and families feel that everybody's safe in our school districts. And in fact, yesterday that was dropped as Senate Bill 1, and today it will actually be dropped as House Bill 1. So that we're showing it that's our top priority too. And as Speaker Stivers mentioned yesterday, President Stivers mentioned yesterday in the press conference, that if we could say General Assembly Bill 1, that's what this would be. We want to make it clear to the citizens of the Commonwealth that we're taking school safety to the utmost seriousness that it is, and we're going to do all we can to make it the safest place as possible.
And how important has it been for you to be able to receive a lot of feedback from people that's in your district, but just throughout the state on wanting to address this and put up new measures in place moving forward?
It's been so important. You know, most people want to be heard, and I think that was a great approach that we decided to take. Is that, you know, take our time, travel across the state. We've been basically to every corner of the state with hearings, and we've heard from parents, students, staff, teachers, mental health professionals, law enforcement. I mean, we've heard input from all of those folks, and we've come up with a comprehensive bill that has been filed, and again, the House will be filing it today. And it was so vital to have that time to get that feedback for lots of reasons. One, to see different ideas and approaches, but two, to make sure that the citizens of the Commonwealth felt like they had ownership of that product too. And that's been invaluable. And I think, again, we're going to see that as we go through the process, that feedback, I expect will help us to be able to move the bills very quickly.
And switching gears, another hot topic for many months, but during this particular session is medical marijuana and whether it should be introduced as for legislation or discussions committees. Where are you with the particular topic and as the session is in play?
Well, obviously we have members in our caucus that support that issue, and then we have some that are maybe a little more reserved on it. So we're still kind of having those discussions in the caucus. I know that the President of the Senate and the floor leader have publicly stated that they don't know that the support's there in the Senate. So obviously that'll be a part of our thoughts as we move forward with that. You know, that's something that we're going to listen to our members on and let that guide the process. But we're certainly in a position right now that's still I would say in a holding pattern at this time.
And a lot of the leaders in the caucus have mentioned they want to see actual studies or evidence-based before it would be brought to the floor or even to committee. Are you in that same?
I'm in that same category. You know, I will certainly say this. You know, I'm far more open to the idea now than when I first came here. I think I've had a lot of constituents reach out and with I think legitimate comments about it, and but I certainly would like to see a whole lot more research, and I certainly would favor if we could find a way to do that kind of component with universities and some other folks. For me personally, that would be what I'd like to see, but again, that's a discussion we're going to have here over the next month or two.
And our last few moments, as the House Majority Leader, what would you like to see also accomplished during this particular short session?
Well, I think we're going to look in our chamber too at a tax cleanup bill, make sure that there's some clarification on some things there. What we passed last year, there were some unintended consequences of some different interpretations with Finance Cabinet. We want to make sure we clear that up. We also are going to spend some time discussing welfare reform. We want to continue to do what we've done in the last 2 years, build upon an economic growth policy that's led the Commonwealth to record investments, and part of that's workforce. And we're at 59% workforce participation rate in the Commonwealth now, and a big part of that's kind of some of the welfare systems. So we're going to have some discussions around that. That's obviously a multifaceted issue with so many federal guidelines there. So we may not be able to get a big piece of legislation done on that. We might can do some small things, but anything that we can do to help with workforce, we're going to look at that too.
Well, Leader Carney, we appreciate your time for joining us, talk about priorities for this 2019 session, and we'll continue to see how the process moves forward as we go from there.
Thanks for your time.
You bet. We'll be right back.